What's up everyone, welcome back to another What If video. We left off last time with Resurrection F looking very different. It was basically a mix of the Broly movie and Resurrection F. Frieza is dead, as well as Broly, Chila, and Lemmo remaining on Earth after losing their only mode of transportation. Yeah, they were involved in the last part, and I heavily recommend watching that if you want to get caught up with this one, because a lot went down. During this time, Broly and friends have been getting used to life on Earth, with Goku and Vegeta training with Whis as usual. Whis is interested in the idea of training Broly, but Broly doesn't feel ready for that kind of training yet, and has just spent his time on Earth. With Gohan being there frequently as well, they've become new training partners. Piccolo, Goten, and Trunks, who are all still getting stronger due to their training with Gohan, have begun training on their own instead, since Gohan far outclasses them now, especially now with Ultimate God being nearly on par with Super Saiyan Blue. Broly, however, is a perfect training partner for Gohan, and from time to time they do end up training. Gohan works to get Broly to try and control his rage, while Gohan himself tries to access Super Saiyan Blue. Since he's basically perfected the God form even more so than Goku and Vegeta have, he's pretty confident he could figure out how to work Super Saiyan Blue, because he already has mastery over the Super Saiyan God form, and he knows the basic gist of how Super Saiyan Blue works. With his occasional trips to see Whis, he eventually is able to learn how to use this form, and his power with this form is insane. Gohan in his Ultimate God form was already on par with Super Saiyan Blue, Goku, and Vegeta, but just being in Super Saiyan Blue, Gohan is already stronger than where Goku and Vegeta are, and this helps his training with Broly as they're now able to train at higher levels. And this is just Super Saiyan Blue, Gohan hasn't even stacked Ultimate onto it yet. One day though, Goku and Vegeta come back to Earth with some news. There's a tournament beginning now, out of nowhere, because they obviously still had their encounter with Champa, and they try to prepare for the Universe 6 tournament. And they need 3 more members. Wait, 3? What about Monaka? Well, there's no real need for Monaka. Beerus only chose Monaka so Goku thought he had someone stronger to try and reach, but there's already someone like that, Gohan. Not just that, but Broly's there as well, and he's already above Goku. So there's no need for Monaka since Goku already has 2 people that he has to try and surpass. And they're not like Monaka, they're actually stronger than him. Obviously, the first person they want to recruit is Gohan. And Gohan would love to join, but he has a meeting to attend. And because of this, Gohan can't actually join. No, I'm just kidding. Gohan joins. We're not going to deal with that again. He can miss the meeting, and he has some sort of excuse, or he could schedule it somewhere else. I'm sure he can get around it somehow. The other easy pick is Broly, since this will be a good opportunity for him to test his powers and get some real experience with fighting in a safe environment. Well, kinda safe. For the final member, Goku's about to go and find Buu, but Vegeta protests this because he never wanted Buu there in the first place. When thinking of people to add to the group, there's a few options. The 4 Saiyans already pretty much way outclass everyone else, so no matter who they choose, they're gonna be weaker than them anyways. I mean, the strongest option they probably have right now is Piccolo, but Gohan interjects with a suggestion. They should let Videl join. Goku and Vegeta don't really take this seriously at first, because they don't actually know that Videl has been training alongside Gohan for a really long time now, and she's way stronger than she ever was before. I mean, why else would I be powering her up in the past parts if she's not going to do anything? We gotta give her her time to shine. I mean, she's been training with Gohan for the past few years, who's the strongest fighter behind Broly. Even before Broly came around, he was insanely powerful. Last time, we placed her around Gohan's power during the Cell games, like when he was Super Saiyan 2 versus Cell, just to clear that up, because some people were asking what Gohan I was talking about. And not much time has passed since then, so now she's only going to be as strong as someone in the early Buu arc, like maybe Super Saiyan 2 Vegeta at that point. She's still weaker than Piccolo, but it might be good for her to get some actual fighting experience and not let this power go to waste. And being at that level anyways is already really strong, so that's pretty good for her to have. After actually hearing him out, Goku realizes it's not that bad of an idea. Besides, the rest of the team is immensely powerful anyways, so this should be fine. They've never really fought alongside Videl or seen how she fights, but knowing how Gohan has been training and he would probably know what she's like, they trust him with this. Goku and Vegeta go into the time chamber for only 2 days this time, so they come out a little weaker than they were in the original, but not like by an insane amount. They left this extra day for Gohan and Videl to go in, so she can get stronger as well. She's never been in the time chamber before, so this would be a good opportunity for her to experience that. This training isn't really for Gohan, it's more for her, so Gohan's not really going to get that huge of a boost from there. And everyone exits the time chamber in their own time. First we see Goku and Vegeta come out with their nice beards as usual, and then we actually get to see Gohan with a beard, kinda like we did in that What If I Did about Cell being in the Tournament of Power. and Videl's actually back to her short hair, the kind she had during the Buu saga. Gohan sadly shaves the beard though. You know what, this is kinda irrelevant, but it's kinda funny. I'm gonna leave a poll. Do you want Gohan to keep his beard or not? So vote on that, I'm gonna put that above at this part. And of course, Broly has no need to go in the time chamber. And I don't see this one less year of time for Goku and Vegeta being bad. So they're weaker this time, but not as much as you think, like I said before. And this will be important later still. Gohan also does get a little stronger, but as I said, the training was mostly for Videl, and she has shown the most improvement. Her training with Gohan now puts her around the level of a late Buu saga character. I wouldn't say around Vegito level or Buuhan level, because that's kind of insane, but let's put her around Ultimate Gohan or Buu Tanks. I feel like that's more of a good area for her to be at. That's still really strong though, considering how massively strong Ultimate Gohan, even like after the Buu saga, how strong he was. You saw how powerful he was in the first part of this What If when he fused with Goku. Of course that's going to be a nice power for her to be at. And yeah, it kind of sounds like a lot, but it's actually pretty weak in comparison to the other characters. But it's still really strong in terms of humans. Now that the team can head off to the tournament, they face their biggest obstacle, the test. Gohan and Videl pass pretty easily, and Vegeta does fine, but Broly and Goku have some trouble. I mean, Goku's still Goku, and he had a tough time originally, and obviously Broly, who doesn't really have that much of an education, he's not gonna know how to really handle this. But he just barely passes. Even with his lack of actual education, hanging around with Professor Gohan actually has its benefits. The first one to actually fight is actually Videl, and she's facing Batamo. She handles it kind of like Gohan did in the Tournament of Power. At first she struggles to knock him out, but instead of messing with him absorbing the punches, she figures out she could just punch him away if she does it fast enough, by just lifting him off the ground and continuously punching him until he's out of the ring. He's pushed away, and then she finishes him off with a Kamehameha, one of the many ki blasts and techniques that she's actually learned from training with Gohan over the past few years. It was a pretty easy win for her, I mean it would be for anyone, but now she's against Frost. It's weird to see a good guy that looks like Frieza, but they obviously don't know that he's evil yet. Frost doesn't transform because Videl doesn't coax him into it like Goku does, and since she doesn't trust this guy because he reminds her of Frieza, she wants to end this quick. She's never obviously faced Frieza head on, but from the last part she actually got a sense of his power, and she's heard stories about what he's like, so she doesn't want to trust this guy either. Videl, from the few times that we've actually seen her save people or fight, she doesn't make any mistakes and is a quick thinker as well as being smart, so she's able to try and eliminate Frost while he's in his first form, since she suspects he has more. I mean, it's only natural if he's like Frieza. She charges at him with full power, and when he's about to attack, she vanishes behind him and catches him off guard, knocking him to the air, then kicking him to the ground and finishing with a Kamehameha to knock him out. She went completely full power with this because she didn't want to take any risks. Wait, did she just knock out Frost? She can't possibly be that strong. And that's right, she didn't win with brute strength, but Frost's first form isn't really an issue for her. Like I said, she doesn't mess around. She pretty much knows what Frieza's game is like, and how he has 3 other transformations that greatly boost his power, and she wanted to eliminate Frost before he even had the opportunity to transform, if he even could. So she's not entirely stronger than Frost once he transforms, but she's more tactical when it comes to fights, so that allows her to get the advantage here. While Goku or Vegeta would want him to transform, she can't risk fighting a more powerful version of him, and is more focused on defeating him rather than having a good fight, because she's the only non-Saiyan there for Universe 7. But she's tired out now, thinking it's because she used all her power. But she actually collapses because once she kicked Frost, he actually stabbed her with the poison needle. Frost is furious, but he's at least glad to see he was able to knock her out as well, alongside with him being knocked out. This may seem minor, but at least it's something interesting, because no one finds out that Frost is evil or has other forms from this, since there's nothing that makes people suspect he cheated or is evil. Now it's not important right now, but during the Tournament of Power it'll come back into play. Next is the Vegeta versus Vegeta and Kaba, which go the same as normal. Vegeta insults Vegeta, and he forms a nice bond with Kaba, and nothing really changes in these fights. So far, only Videl has been knocked out, while Universe 6 only has Hit left. It seems like they have the upper hand, until Vegeta's knocked out pretty easily by Hit. Goku goes up next, and is able to figure out Hit's trick, but ends up losing because he can't fully utilize Kaioken on top of Blue. I did mention before that it would come to play that he's a little weaker, and yeah, it's not like a huge difference in his power, but the fact that he had a year less time to practice means he can't actually utilize Kaioken properly. So while he does have a similar power in Super Saiyan Blue, the fact that he can't use Kaioken that easily means he hasn't really perfected the technique yet, and this leads to his defeat. Not only is he unable to boost himself with this form, but the less training with it makes it too risky for him to power up, and would greatly injure him. In the original, he said that he only had a small chance of pulling it off, so it would probably be even smaller this time, and it wouldn't be worth the risk. Now Broly is up, knowing how Hit's time skip works after Goku and Vegeta have informed him how he fights. Both of them grow during the battle, making the fight really interesting because they're both able to push farther and farther. Broly, due to training with Gohan, actually knows how to control Super Saiyan now, and goes from base form to Wrathful to Super Saiyan, which ends up giving Hit trouble. All that training with Gohan paid off for him, because kinda like what Gohan did with the God form, he knows it's better to perfect a current form than go strive for some other big one. He learned this in the Cell Saga, and he applied this to his God form and decides to apply it to Broly as well. Broly, with his immense power, is actually able to break through Hit's time skip briefly, like he did with Goku's God Bind, but Hit keeps improving after this. Even though he's been injured and tired out a little, he eventually reaches a point where he could skip ahead by a whole second, and knocks Broly out before he can even become full power. Broly may be powerful, but he's not that good of a tactician or a fighter yet. Now, each universe is down to one fighter, Gohan and Hit. Hit is a little tired out from Broly and Goku, but has improved so much from these matches that he's still able to fight effectively. Gohan knows this, and he doesn't play around. He enters the ring in his God form, and it's not enough. He powers up to Ultimate God next, and that's still not enough. He then goes blue and rushes Hit, which does somewhat well, but eventually Hit is able to counter this, which surprises Gohan that he's actually able to counter this. Having tried those two forms, Gohan decides to test out something that he's been working on. He powers up, and he gains a white aura, and Champa tells Hit to knock him out, but Hit is just watching and letting him power up, kinda like he did with Goku. The light from his power-up clears, with Gohan now using a new power, kinda like he did with Ultimate God, except this time, he's combined his ultimate form with Super Saiyan Blue, creating a new power, Ultimate Super Saiyan Blue, or just Ultimate Blue. Like Super Saiyan Blue Kaioken, he combined Ultimate with Blue, but while Kaioken drains your energy a lot, the Ultimate form isn't going to do nearly as much stamina drain. Even with his 1 second time skip, Gohan is able to completely break through it and outpace Hit, knock him around so fast that he can't even keep up. He speeds up faster and faster, eventually charging him a Senko and finishing the fight. Hit is knocked out, and Universe 7 is victorious, with Champa and Beerus just watching in awe that a mortal can become this powerful at all. Hit is impressed by the power of all the Saiyans, and Goku vows to fight him again one day with no limits, once he's stronger. He knows that Hit had to hold back, and Goku wants to fight him with no limits at all. Then Zeno shows up, and we get the whole business with him wanting to hold his own similar tournament because he found this entertaining. The arc ends like normal, and that's the end of the tournament, with everyone returning to their normal lives. And we're gonna skip Copy Vegeta. That arc won't change anything in the grand scheme of things. And there's no Monaka, of course. In Universe 10, however, a Kai named Zamasu was watching the tournament on GodTube. He's both fascinated and disgusted when he sees mortals using a god's power and fighting with such a high power. The hybrid Saiyan at the end of the fight particularly interests him, with such an immense power. We jump to the future Trunks timeline, where we see him fighting off an unseen figure, and ultimately escaping. Out of the smoke, a familiar face is revealed, and it's Trunks' worst nightmare. His former teacher and friend, Gohan, is standing before him, but Trunks is well aware that this isn't the Gohan that he knew before, and we'll leave off here for now. What did you think about the tournament? How do you think Broly's training will end up going? What will happen in the next arc with Gohan present this time around? Comment your suggestions and thoughts below as we prepare for the next part. And as always, remember to like, subscribe, and hit the bell icon for notifications about future parts of this What If and other videos. As usual, thank you all for watching, and I'll see you on the next video.